Hey there, I am Joel here, and this is Nursing Tutorials with Joel. Have you ever wondered what makes the heart beat? Have you ever wondered the energy the heart uses in beating from 24 hours per day, 7 days a week, and throughout a whole year, and throughout the lifetime of someone? The heart is always beating. Have you ever wondered what happens within, what gives the heart that force, that energy? This brings us to the topic of today, conducting system of the heart. Now, one thing we must understand is that one of the properties of the heart is what we call automaticity, meaning that the heart, the cardiac muscle, is able to initiate impulses on its own. And not just initiating that impulse, it's also able to conduct electrical impulse on its own also. So, every part of the cardiac muscle has the opportunity or the privilege of initiating its own impulse. However, not all the whole part of the heart is permitted to do so. If not, we'll be having uncoordinated beats everywhere. Imagine every part of the heart just beating totally. It's going to be unfair. Alright, this brings us to the structures that are responsible for initiating and conducting impulses within the heart. And there are 4 structures that are specialized within the heart, and their work, their responsibility is for initiation and conduction of impulses within the heart. The initiation and conduction of impulses leads to contraction in the heart. That force we'll be talking about is because of these 4 structures. What are they? We have the sinoatrial node, we have the atrioventricular node, we have the AV bundle, that's atrioventricular bundle or bundle of these, and we also have the Purkinje fibers. We'll be looking at each of them one by one. Now, the sinoatrial node. This is the main structure within the heart that initiates impulse, electrical impulses. Now, we call it the pacemaker of the heart. Why? Because it is a structure that initiates impulse. And it is located at the junction between the superior vena cava and the right atrium, just here. It generates impulse at a rate of 60 to 100 beats per minute. So, it spreads its impulse around. That's the sinoatrial node. Now, the second on the list is atrioventricular node. The atrioventricular node is located at the lower part of the right atrium, close to the interatrial septum. And so, it generates heart beats, or let's say generates electrical impulses at a rate of 40 to 60 beats per minute. Mind you, this generation of 40 to 60 beats per minute occurs when the sinoatrial node fails to generate beats. So it becomes a disease condition, something we call dysrhythmia, or we call it arrhythmia. Alright, the next on the list is the atrioventricular bundle, or we call it the bundle of peace. It continues as a bundle from the AV node down to where it spreads, where it divides into right and left, down. So, the bundle of these is located at the upper part or the superior part of the interventricular septum. Remember I told you that it divides into the right and the left parts, branches, still within the septum. Its work is that it conducts impulses from the AV node down to where it reaches the Purkinje fibers. Now the 4th one is the Purkinje fibers. You can see these structures here that looks like fibers. Now what are they? These are fibers that spread around the ventricles. They conduct their impulses from the right and the left atrioventricular bundle. Now, when the sinoatrial node is unable to initiate impulse, the AV node is unable to initiate impulse, the Purkinje fiber is next on the line that tries to initiate impulse in a disease condition, and it initiates that at a rate of 20 to 40 beats per minute, which is very low. So, in summary, the sinoatrial node initiates electrical impulse and sends it to the right atrium and the left atrium. As a result of sending the impulses, the atrial ventricular node also conducts part of the impulses and transfers it to the AV bundle. From the AV bundle, it passes through the right and the left AV bundle and moves up to the Purkinje fibers. All these are responsible for atrial contraction and ventricular contraction. Now, this makes up the conducting system of the heart. So, thank you for listening to this video. For more videos, subscribe to this channel. Thanks once again.